The person who can't be manipulated is not the coldest in the room, nor the most intelligent. It's something else, something almost no one notices in time. You've met someone like this before. Around them, others choose their words more carefully. The room becomes 1 degree more cautious, and no one knows quite why. There's a reason certain manipulators avoid certain people, and it has nothing to do with strength. There are silent signs of a mind that won't be played. Once you see the first one, you can't unsee it, and you'll recognize exactly who, in your life, counts on you not having any of them. Signal 1. She doesn't react on someone else's timeline. It's 11 at night. The message arrives. I need an answer now. The cursor blinks. Most people start typing immediately. She doesn't. Manipulation needs urgency. The manipulator injects pressure. Decide now. You're with me or against me. The person who won't be played does something simple and devastating. She waits. In the brain, the amygdala fires the impulse to respond immediately. She just gives the prefrontal cortex time to catch up. Her silence is not doubt, it's a filter. Have you ever felt that strange rush to reply to a message? That urgency wasn't yours. It was planted. But waiting is only the beginning. What she does next is what really unnerves them, because she feels everything they want her to feel and still doesn't move. Signal 2. She feels the emotional pull, but doesn't obey. Picture a conversation that starts soft. I just wanted to talk. I don't want to fight. Then a small wound. You used to listen to me. You've changed. Then the rescue. But I know who you really are. I know your heart. Soft, wound, rescue. That's the sequence. Emotional manipulation works by making you feel before you think. Guilt, flattery, fear in the right order. The immune person feels all of it. The difference is, she treats the feeling as information, not as a command. Why do I suddenly feel guilty talking to this person? The emotion becomes a clue, never a command. The body still flinches. The chest still tightens. She just refuses to translate that flinch into action. That gap between feeling and acting is where her freedom lives. Remember the last time you gave in and didn't quite know why? The feeling came first. The decision came after, just to justify what you had already felt. This is where most people lose without realizing. They think they're choosing. They're just signing what was already decided for them. And here's what almost no one understands. The next thing she does isn't a skill. It's an absence. Signal 3. She doesn't need to be approved. Every manipulation has a lever. Almost always, the lever is your need to be accepted. Jung called it the persona, the mask that begs for approval. The persona isn't evil. Everyone has one. It's how we survive society. The problem is, when the persona becomes the whole person, when the mask fuses to the face, then every opinion, every glance, every silence from someone else becomes a verdict on your existence. And anyone who can give verdicts can pull strings. Whoever has integrated this can take disapproval without falling apart. Take away the need, and the manipulator has nothing to lean on. She can hear, "You've changed. You've become arrogant," and she doesn't back down. Imagine a family table. A comment lands. "You think you're better than us now." The old version of her would have explained, softened, apologized for growing. This version just keeps eating. Not coldly, just steadily. Because she finally understood their disapproval was never about her. It was about what her freedom revealed about theirs. Think about who really controls you today. It's not whoever threatens you. It's whoever you're afraid to disappoint. And whoever is afraid to disappoint has already handed over the keys. There's a way to take them back. It starts with what most people refuse to do. Signal 4. She watches behavior, not words. Manipulators live by narrative, promises, reframes, beautiful explanations. Mirror neurons fire stronger with emotional words. That's why the story grips you. The immune person disconnects the mirrors, watches from the outside. She doesn't argue with the story. She watches the pattern, the gap between what someone says and what they do. That's where the truth lives. He swore he'd change. He gave the speech. He even cried. 3 weeks later, the same thing happens, and she's not surprised. Because she was never listening to the words, and she doesn't confront the contradiction. She just notes it. In silence. How many times in life has a good explanation made you forget a bad pattern? The words were there to distract you from what the actions had already said. Now you see how she watches. But watching isn't enough. What separates the immune from the ones who actually win the game is one final thing. Signal 5. She lets the other reveal themselves. And here is the most advanced one. What separates those who defend from those who command the game? When she sees the manipulation, the immune person doesn't confront, doesn't warn. Whoever warns only teaches the opponent to hide better. She does the opposite. She gives space, lets the manipulator trust, advance, overextend until they expose themselves. Confrontation relieves the manipulator. Silence exposes him. Watch a chess player who's losing. He'll start to explain his strategy, justify his moves, talk about what he meant to do. The chess player who's winning says nothing, just keeps moving the pieces. Because the moment you start explaining, you've already lost the board. There's a reason Machiavelli wrote that the wise prince never reveals what he sees. Because the moment you reveal what you see, you give the other person a chance to hide it better. She doesn't take that chance away from herself. She lets the manipulator believe she missed it. And the manipulator, feeling safe, doubles down. That's the moment the mask slips. Not when he's careful, when he's confident. Next time you sense you're being played, don't expose them. Observe. Whoever thinks they're in control always shows their hand. You just have to not interrupt. Being immune to manipulation is not being cold. It's not distrusting everyone. It's clarity. The manipulator needs your fog, the rush, the guilt, the need to please. Take away the fog, and there's no lever left. Think of it like a magician's trick. The trick only works in the smoke. Clear the smoke, and there's just a person moving objects you can see. Most of what feels like manipulation in your life isn't sophisticated. It's just the smoke you haven't cleared yet. The people hardest to manipulate are usually the calmest in the room, not because they don't feel, but because they learn to feel without obeying. And that calm, that quiet refusal to be moved, is the loudest thing in any room that knows how to read it. Did you recognize someone in your life in these signs? If the first person who came to mind was someone you trust, it's worth paying closer attention. And if it was yourself, then probably someone in your life has already given up trying to play you without ever telling you. And if you want to keep seeing what almost no one notices in time, you know what to do.